very, very sad week for Blue Kalken Goku fans. 9 years of waiting since the AGL Blue Kalken Goku initially released, and we get Tech Blue Kalken Goku, which in all reality, he looks very cool, really great animations. I just unfortunately think upon using him more and more, his actual kit falls a bit under expectations, and by a bit I mean quite a bit. um this guy honestly is a lot weaker than he should be. I think this guy has a lot of faults in his kit, and that's gonna be what today's video is gonna be focused on. I mean, this is the tweet that kind of had me thinking, yeah, Blue Kalken at fault here. The 21 damage taken there, obviously at double digits, at 1% HP essentially, and down to double digit normals, because Blue Kalken Goku, I mean, Tech UI Goku is also a fraud, but 5% HP damage taken by Blue Kalken Goku. And yeah, obviously that can happen where it comes down to how the team is, right? The representatives of Universe 17, and how this guy is completely unfit on that team, and the team itself is not really that powerful. We can get into it just very, very in depth at this point, because I've been talking about, I'm going to make this video for the past few days, and I finally have time to sit down and talk about this here. I do need to make a showcase in AGL Blue Kalken Goku here. We'll probably go live later tonight and then, try him out and things like that. Now, the thing with this team is we have 3 slot ones, quote unquote, I would say. Okay, we'll bring up 4 potential options for slot 1. AGL UI Goku. Dodge or die. Tech UI Goku. Dodge or die. Goku Frieza. Once you're in Goku here, this guy is a tank character. He sits in slot 1 and he's a tank character with guard, 59% reduction, STRUI Goku on full reps can actually have an 84% chance to dodge, but he's also dodge or die, and he's probably like a option that you don't want to use realistically. I mean, you can use him. He's not the worst, but there's a couple issues with these characters. If you don't have this guy suffers in red zone content very, very much. I love AGL UI Goku. He's fantastic in Battle Hard Foes, but this guy is definitely not a great option in red zone, but he's pretty much the option you have to run in slot 1 compared to Tech UI. Tech UI works much better as a floater, and that's because this guy is stuck with 70% dodge. I like the idea they had where he has like a safeguard where that first attack he receives is 50% reduction. Then after he has 15% reduction at guard, but that's not enough. He has no multiplicative stats. He loses stats throughout longer fights. He doesn't really do crazy damage. He's supporting a bit, right? He does give the 30% support for defense, which is pretty nice to have, but yeah, no, Tech UI Goku is not a slot 1 option. I mean, realistically, we're seeing so many of these characters have 90% dodge. This guy, like, he should just have 90% dodge in slot 1. He has a great chance to dodge. Just 90% chance to dodge, would be really, really awesome. Or make him just have 50% reduction. Before receiving an attack, he has 20% extra dodge. And then he gets the guard after he doesn't dodge an attack. So that he has that, fail safe, I guess you could say, or maybe just 90% dodge in slot 1. Like, I don't know. It's a UI Sengoku. I think this guy's primarily built on dodge. They didn't give him enough after, but that's an issue with him. This guy will take mega damage from normals. Then you introduce this character who also wants to be higher HP when receiving an attack. And then their thought process is to introduce a character. 2 characters, in fact, if we also consider AGL Blue Kalken, that lowers your HP. 5% HP sacrifice. What was the thought process of having a character who is already in many situations these slot 1 characters are dodge or die, and this character wants to be at higher HP, and then you bring out this guy who lowers your HP? It's very odd decision. This guy could do 4 super attacks in a turn, lower your HP by 20%. You go into the next turn at a lower HP threshold. And of course, the idea is that it'll allow you to get this mid-turn. Which I also hate this, by the way. This is stupid. If you're under the HP before you attack, you're not going to get this at all. His defense is mega nerfed. But then, if you're above, obviously, you're going to lose his attack. But it feels like he's designed as if he has both of these up. Which I think the idea is that, you know, you start off above 70%, then you get this through the turn. Sure, I get it. But it's not always going to happen like that, you know, especially with how key sphere changing ends up happening, right? We can go ahead and take a look here. Here's an example of like a turn that I've had. So we were at the 64% HP mark, right? If you take a look down here, we're at 64% HP. HOUI Goku lower on stats, which, you know, by the way, HOUI Goku does lose stats when you're lower HP as well. If you take a look here, he loses 77% attack and defense. Well, he gets to revive, but you don't want to revive with him. Ideally, you want to use the Tech Blue Kalkin Goku one if you can. I guess it doesn't really matter per se, because he doesn't have to use his own revive, I guess, so it's not the biggest deal. But you see this situation, right? Okay, I have to grab this orb right here or this orb with you, because if I grab all these Tech Orbs with UI Goku, I'm not gonna get, where is it? This ability right here, which, you know, you need this to do damage. So you grab all these, like, you can grab all these Tech Overs, for example. Then I get the additional 100% attack, but then I lose this. And then I'll get this, but then after I grab all these, now I'm at a spot where I'm actually like above 80% HP. Even if I do all 4 super attacks, I'm not getting this. Which means that he actually loses out on damage because I'm trying to follow, you know, his kit, right? And then if I didn't grab the Tech Orbs, I will still lose out on damage. You know, you guys get the point. It's a very odd design, because it's like his numbers can look good when you have both of these up, but it's very situational. Then you also come into this situation where he needs reps over 7. If he had like a character that he could be using someone like Beast Gohan, you know, that'd be pretty cool. Like more tank characters. He has a full power at leader skill. You know, we could take a look here at full power. Who can be slot 1 here in full power? You know, I guess even Namagoku in longer fights you could definitely use like Namagoku there. Let's take a look here. Beast Gohan is a character option you could have used there. Maybe even the standby Gohan right here once his standby's up. Jiren potentially, I guess, even as an option for full power. And then in the future, we'll likely get a bunch of EZA characters like this Super Saiyan Goku right here. I mean, very likely can get an EZ this year, in fact. 23rd World Tournament Goku in the future, maybe. Though I guess they wouldn't link well, but you guys kind of get the point there. But I feel like the thing is, since he's locked to reps, he loses, again, a lot of his damage capabilities. And it's not like this guy's a defensive god character. 3 mil defense with guard. He has a high chance dodge. 70% after he supers. You know, after he revives, I mean. It's pretty decent, but it's not crazy. Especially with dodge disable. And then you have this guy on the team that could potentially get you out of those situations, but it's situational. There's locking. It's just for the 3 turns. These fights are gonna last much longer. Like the dodge disable phase will likely last longer than the 3 turns in a lot of situations, because this guy's not carrying the damage for you, especially if you're above the HP threshold. There's just a lot of issues with this guy. And his own stats are too low. His standby skill could do pretty decent damage. But then it almost feels like, okay, you know, you want to use this guy's revive and force it out, because this guy will lose this. And then he doesn't really gain anything besides 20% crit and dodge, which definitely, like, those are nice abilities to have. But he basically just gets back what he lost from his intro, and it's just forcing you to use a team protector ability, which in my opinion is another bad design. Being forced to use a team protector ability like that, even in the case of like the GT duo, you're not forced to use the revive ability. You weren't. You're able to just stick in their base form if you want, and then you could just wait, stack attack until the end, right? But that's not really the case with this guy. You're kind of forced to do so because without his intro, he's completely out there like a fish, right? He's awful without his intro animation. I mean, like buff, right? And, you know, this could do decent damage, but it's not anything too crazy. So, yeah, I mean, this guy doesn't fit the reps team. He works against it. This guy, in many situations, will harm you more than help you because you'll lose like 15-20% HP. Then, unless he gets under here, like, he's gonna heal you above, so you're not even gonna do a lot of damage. So it's basically gonna be stalemating the enemy in a lot of situations. And then he's gonna be doing like 18 mil attack stats. And then you have this guy following up. Now, if this guy's on rotation with this guy, he will actually do some pretty decent damage, especially under the HP threshold. I've seen turns where this guy could hit like closer to 50 mil attack stats. Like no attack equips or anything with this guy in rotation, because this guy will provide a lot of attack here. But then he's also hurting you, which will help this character because he wants to be 59% or below. But then you think of the next rotation with, like, say, HOUI Goku on rotation, or Goku Frieza on rotation, your slot 1 characters, who he needs to be a higher HP. This guy ideally would like to be higher HP. Let's say you use the revive by then. This guy at lower HP, all that does is hurt you. Yeah, it's just it's a lot of shenanigans, a lot of bad things there. I mean, this guy actually does benefit from being at lower HP. He gets an additional 20% dodge chance. I think the idea is these two together as a rotation. But this guy's so tricky to have in these fights. Even if they're weaker early on, he takes a lot of damage in his base form. The actual Ultra Instinct Goku is incredible. But then, you know, you do eventually lose his intro as well. And it's just... yeah, it's just issues. There's a lot of things that I would change about this guy to fit the reps team. If anything, I would actually get rid of the restriction for reps as well. But I did ask Twitter, of course, what 2 changes would you guys make to this guy's kit to make him more relevant in in-game content? 55 replies, quite a bit of replies. It's only been, what, 30 minutes? So you can tell people are very, very heated about this guy. If I was going to change just 2 things about this guy, I would actually change this to being 1 reps on rotation. I mean, I feel like I'd make so many changes. Actually, one of the changes I would make him stack. Greatly stack attack and defense, I think would be incredible. That's one change I would make. Then the second change I would make is change this to being build up. So that, okay, even if he loses his intro, he at least is stacking up defense. And then, you know, you could just use his revive skill on his own team. You could use another character's revive like HOUI. I don't think that's as big of a deal. The big deal I found is the inconsistency here and then the restriction here. If this was a permanent build-up that he builds up to, that is quite a lot of stats. Or even if it was like attack and defense 50% with each attack done, then defense 20% with HP 70% or more up to 100%, and then attack 100% when HP 70% or less. And then that's also build up, but depending on the HP. If he can get these stats start of turn, you know, he could even potentially be his own slot 1 eventually with the dodge chance and plus the revive. And if he's stacking defense, And then you wouldn't even have to worry about like HOUI or the characters being slot 1 later on in the fights, because you'll have this guy around. That would be really good, wouldn't it? Then this guy would be very oppressive. And he would also have the standby skill option. That would work very well with his multiplicative defense stacking if he would have that too. So that's what I would do personally, but let's see what people are saying here. Then, you know, excuse me, even without this, even if you have to have 1 reps line rotation, sure, but like you could still run like a Beast Gohan on rotation, or you could have a different floating character that's on full power on rotation, right? You guys get the point. Let's take a look at some of the quotes here. Defensive mechanics to lower your health is Kalkin using HP is a main drawback, but having to pitch for a revive for his guard is 15-30% defense when his health drops to 80, 70, 60, and let him stack defense per super. So like the lower HP you are at, the more defense buff you get. What if you had like damage reduction lower HP? Like the AGL Blue Kalkin Goku? Massively raise attack instead of greatly raising super. And then changes full reps condition to 1 reps. AGL Frieza low class warrior buff. Same what Universe hit 6. Yeah, okay. You mean Universe 7. Remove the Universe 7, 150% starter turn attack on both base and standby. So like add 150% extra starter turn attack, you're saying. I mean, what if they just add attack here and then attack here? That could work too. But just like a baseline 150% attack would be good. Like they could just put it like maybe even here or just here. 350%. That would help a lot. Like if they want this guy to be an offensive juggernaut, he needed more consistent damage. 100%. Okay, let's see. Slays here. Greatly stack attack and defense. It's a good trade-off for the damage he's constantly doing to you, because later in the fight you'll be healing a lot of it back with tech orbs. That's fair. Place his guard with 10-15% damage reduction per attack performed. Counter attack that 5% hit every time he supers, at least you can be more confident. So within the same turn he gets, I think the guard might be, I think I would prefer to have the guard plus dodge. Would I? I think, you know, in longer fights, he would benefit from actually having the damage reduction. If it's like 15% reduction per attack performed, yeah, I would say the damage reduction would be better. If it's 10%, I probably would prefer the guard. It just depends, I think. Yeah, but no, I think that's just fair. Like these two would work. And then you can keep this. I think the same would be fine. Because as long as he's stacking, this inconsistency won't matter as much. It would suck. See, the thing about this is that you get super instantly in slot 1. Even if you have a tank character in slot 1, you'll lose this likely. Which will be very devastating, unfortunately. So, yeah. I think this is fine, though. Attack stacking and change reps rotation to 2 tournament participants on the team. That's fair. Attack stacking would be good too. Just like, you know, allow him to really push that. I think defense stacking would be ideal as well. I mean, realistically, there's no reason for him not to have attack and defense stacking. I think he should just have that. Just 1. Greatly raise attack for 1 turn to... greatly... I can't even speak. Let him even keep the HP reduction, just let him stack. Yeah, okay. Massively stack. Defense crazy good when HP is 45% or lower. Chance to do damage to himself instead of guaranteed. Oh, so like it's like a high chance to sacrifice 5% HP rather than a guaranteed sacrifice. Evades all attacks when HP is 10% or lower, which prevents death by double digits, while still being very restricted, not saving him from dodge canceling. 500% attack from 80% HP and lower HP, the higher the attack. So you're saying that if he's 80% HP or below, he would get extra attack, kind of scaling downwards. That could be cool too. Get rid of his below HP buff and have that just be when attacking. Stacking, no HP loss. No team restrictions upon arrival, no longer sacrifices HP and gains damage. So like once he revives, he will no longer make you lose HP. And then he gets attack along with defense here. I think that's fair. So greatly stacks attack. And then when one more allies attacking the turn of reps. Yeah, very similar to what I said. I mean, at this point, Loki, they should just make him stack defense too. Like, is there a negative to him stacking defense and being good in, well, better in red zone and then it being actually relevant in festival battles like it is? No, there's no problem for that at all. Changes the HP mechanics so it doesn't lose HP per super and increases overall passive attack stats. The restrictions should have a better reward. So 70% attack and defense when everyone's on rotation. I like the crit, but yeah, I guess so. Nuke per key sphere. So like instead of like grabbing one tech key sphere, he gets this buff. It's like he gets 30% attack per tech key sphere obtained, or per key sphere in general. Make him stack like hit. Make his transformation permanent. I'm not sure what you mean make the transformation permanent. It's like, you mean the sprite, I guess. Yeah, a lot of people were saying the same thing. Rainbow orb changing would be good too. Oh yeah, you know, imagine post revive he had orb changing. Yeah, I think that'd be really cool. Post revival, he has changes a random type of key sphere, excluding tech, to rainbow key spheres. And then he'd be able to, and then imagine he has nuking here. Like, there's a lot of ways you could change this guy to make him much better. I think they missed the mark with this guy in so many different ways, unfortunately, but let me know what y'all think. Again, I think we read a good amount of replies. I've yapped quite a bit, so thanks y'all for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.